Here's how I make my simple lemon chicken. Combine olive oil, dried Italian herbs, garlic powder, onion powder, lemon juice and lemon zest, as well as some salt and pepper. Add the chicken and turn to coat and let it marinate for about 15 minutes. Pan fry until cooked through and you're all set. Link in bio for the full recipe with measurements.
This cheese shell deli wrap is the perfect recipe if you end up with a sandwich on regular bread. You're just going to take some cheese, it doesn't really matter what kind, put it on parchment paper and bake at 350 for about 10 minutes. Now you're going to take that bread and throw it away. The power of Christ compels you. Roll up the insides and cut that thing in half. It is literally so good. Hey!
Alright guys, we're going to call this BLT sushi. We're going to do a bacon weave. I'm going to put a pan on top of it, weight it down in the oven, 400 degrees. It keeps it flat that way. We're going to go with mayonnaise, diced tomatoes, lettuce. Get as crazy as you want to. Add avocado, add jalapenos. Get creative. Anyway, slice that bad boy up.
This quinoa salad with chickpeas, lemon, and herbs is a client favorite, so I wanted to share with you guys. Cook a cup of quinoa and saute 1 onion in olive oil until brown and softened. Add 1 can chickpeas and a ½ cup raisins, then make the vinaigrette. Olive oil, fresh lemon juice, salt, sweetener, parsley, and mint. Blend until smooth, mix it together, and
Let's make garlic bread grilled cheese. Combine a tablespoon of butter, a clove of garlic, sea salt, and chopped parsley. Spread on the outside of the bread and fill with cheese. Grill on both sides until golden brown and the cheese is melted. Boom, there's a perfect crossover between garlic bread and grilled cheese.
Hey guys, I'm about to change the way you cook chicken. Eat the last pickle. Take your chicken breasts, cut them into strips, and start adding them to your pickle juice. Now put this in the refrigerator for at least 5 or 6 hours, preferably overnight. This is the key to your success right here. Perfect. Okay, so we've got flour mixed with some salt, some pepper, and some paprika. And we've got egg with a couple splashes of milk and soy sauce and pretzel mixture. Now you can deep fry these or pan fry these. I'm gonna air fry mine. 360 degrees for 10 minutes. These are ridiculous. Go make this happen. Also, if you can't find dots, this is an okay.
People think being vegan is restrictive, but they don't realize the plant world is abundant. There are 20,000 edible plants in this world, and when a dead body is not the star of your plate, you experiment, introduce flavors and ingredients you would have never touched. The diversity of your diet skyrockets and your plate is as colorful as a rainbow. If you want simple, healthy recipes, come to my Instagram where I share plant-based recipes daily.
Day 2 of potato recipes is my ultimate favourite, Pomme Anna. It's delicious, crispy and French. I love it. First of all, get your potatoes peeled, sliced nice and thinly into water just whilst you get your pan ready on a medium heat. Butter, oil. When it starts melting, then start layering up your potatoes. Now you're going to do a layer of potato, butter, salt, pepper, layer of potatoes, butter, salt, pepper, layer of potatoes, butter, salt, pepper. Then you're going to put a bit of parchment paper on there. It's a medium-high heat. And when it's starting to get golden, like you see around the edge, put it into the oven just for 5 minutes or so, just to make sure everything's cooked. Then flip it over, and this is honestly one of the best, most delicious ways to eat.
I don't know how this is the first time I've ever made a tri-tip before, but it was so good. I'm definitely going to be doing it again. So a tri-tip is a super inexpensive cut of meat, and it's actually really easy to prepare. I trimmed off as much of the fat that I could on mine and heavily seasoned it with salt and pepper. With big roasts like this, I always cook them low and slow, so I'm going to throw it on a baking rack and throw it in the oven with a probe in it at 275 degrees. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend investing in one. I use mine all the time. So I'm going to set the temperature to 125 degrees and throw it in the oven. I know a lot of people disagree, but I love some horseradish sauce with my steak. This is just Greek yogurt, prepared horseradish, Worcestershire, garlic, and some vinegar. When the steak hits 125, sear it for about 1 minute on each side and let it rest for at least 10. As always, hit that follow button for more easy recipes.
And here's how you make burger and chips for less than 500 calories. First, you want to get yourself a Maris pipe of potato and chop them into chips like this. Fry light on a tray, whack the chips in and cook them in the oven at 200 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. Then cook your burgers. I use these mozzarella burgers by Linda McCartney because I'm vegetarian, but if you eat meat, then get some lean beef mince and split them into 125 gram balls, make them into patties and cook them in the pan. Toast your bun, lettuce, chips.
Sometimes plain rice gets boring, try this next time. Here's how to take it up a notch. Some dancing oil going with an onion and a jalapeno, and a tiny bit of curry powder. Now go in with a bunch of washed basmati rice and toast. Now go in with a bunch of light coconut milk. Now go in with a bunch of salt and more curry powder. Now bring to a boil, cover, drop to a simmer, and cook for about 12 minutes. Now add some cilantro, a bunch of lime juice, and now we have final product.
Got me hype, I wanna bite it right now, yeah. Say, yeah. She got her hands all on her knees and then her toes on her thighs. She like to twerk and that's for circus, I can tell she.
Here's the recipe for the giant meatball. 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of sausage. Casings removed. Added some parsley, some garlic powder, some onion powder, a little bit of salt, 1/4 cup of Parmesan, 1 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, and 2 eggs. Top with a 1/2 cup of milk and mix this all up. Now get a big bowl and line it with plastic wrap and spray it. And add all of the meat and mold it up the sides of the bowl. In the meantime, boil some spaghetti al dente. Add mozzarella to the meatball, add some sauce to your spaghetti, and stuff it inside of the meatball. Use the plastic wrap to help you seal the meatball. Did I mention I'm making 2? On a foiled lined baking sheet, bake at 375 for 50 minutes. Some sauce on the bottom, more sauce, more cheese on the top. This was one of the best things I've ever made.
All right, y'all, I'm about to show y'all how I make my Thanksgiving glazed ham. Let's go. That pack of glaze, y'all, and just throw it away. Take about a 1/4 can of this juice, y'all, and then pour it in your bowl. 2 tablespoons of your cherry juice, okay? 1/2 cup of the light corn syrup, y'all. Add 3 cups light brown sugar. All right, y'all, now take your glaze and open up that ham, okay? And be generous with it, okay? Pour it all up inside of it. All the inside go on top of it, y'all. Cover the whole ham with this glaze right there. Now go ahead, y'all, and put your pineapple there all over your ham and stick 2 toothpicks in it, okay? So it don't fall, just like so. Take your cherry, y'all, put it on a toothpick just like that and go in between every single one with a cherry, like so, okay? Okay, guys, baste it really good. Go with some of that brown sugar, y'all, just all around the pineapples. Go ahead and push it down on there, all over the whole ham. And go ahead and preheat your oven 350 degrees, depending on the size of the ham, 45 minutes to about an hour. You want it to look just like this, baste it every 15 minutes. All right, y'all, check out this delicious ham.
So today we're gonna make cracked watermelon. Yep, just like the grapes, strawberries, and blueberries, today is gonna be watermelon. Now, I'm not sure how well this is gonna work because watermelon is very juicy and the cracked candy might not stick. And this time I wanna make some cotton candy flavored cracked watermelon. So we're gonna need some cotton candy flavoring, pink and blue food coloring, some light corn syrup, some sugar, some water, candy of your choice, and some skewers. So first you wanna blend up all your candy. We're gonna start with sweet tarts. Candy smoke. Now the Nerds. Now the Sprees. I haven't had these in forever. Now the Jolly Ranchers. All right, candy is all done. Now you're gonna do your hard cracked candy, and I'm gonna half the recipe since I'm making 2 colors. 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of corn syrup, 1 cup of sugar, a splash of cotton candy flavoring, 4 drops of white food coloring. Oh, that was more than 4. 1 drop of blue food coloring. You must come back for
It's braising season, and this melt-in-your-mouth Asian pulled beef is my new favorite recipe. Start by seasoning 1.5 pounds of stew beef with salt and pepper, then roughly chop an inch of ginger and 4 cloves of garlic and slice a small white onion and the whites from a few green onions. Then add a tablespoon or so of oil to an oven-safe pot and sear the beef in batches, then set it aside. All that browning on the bottom is going to be incredible flavor. Add the onions, garlic, and ginger, followed by a little bit of tomato paste, and stir. Deglaze the bottom of the pot with a bit of water, stir, and add 2 teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice and stir. Return the beef and any juices and stir again. Add 2 cups of beef broth, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a bay leaf, and a half cinnamon stick. Stir and bring it to a boil. Cover it and braise it in the oven at 350 for 2 hours. Then shred the beef with a fork. I used it for bao buns. The recipe is on my Instagram.
I went to an Asian grocery store the other day and picked up these frozen scallion pancakes. They come in a pack like this, and even though they look super thin, once you plop it onto the pan with some oil, they start to crisp up. My favorite thing to do is once a side is slightly golden brown, I add 2 eggs. It will stick to the pancake. You can then wrap it up like this, and it's delicious. Crispy on the outside and soft on the inside.
If you want brownies in a pinch, these only take 2 ingredients. Break 4 eggs in a bowl and whisk them together until they start to get fluffy. Then gradually pour in a cup of melted Nutella. And that's all there is to the batter. Now you're going to pour that into a baking dish. Make sure it's spread out evenly and then bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Finish that off with some melted Nutella and you've got brownies with just 2 ingredients.
2-ingredient high-protein wrap. Place beetroot and eggs in a blender and blend it up. Spray a non-stick pan with oil spray. Pour in some batter and cook on a low heat. Peel it off when done. You can fill it with your favorite toppings. I've added cottage cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, lettuce, and avocado.